What's up, guys? My name is Pete, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Phipps Tips. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the overall market. We're going to check out its top performers. We'll have a look at the day's biggest winners and the biggest losers. Got a couple of news articles today. A little bit about crypto addiction. And a new report today suggesting that ICOs give back 82% on average. We'll look into that. Then we're going to wrap it all up with that dead cat bounce from Bitcoin. Checking out the daily chart again. All that and more coming up. Stay tuned. We are on coinmarketcap.com, guys, and the market cap checking in at $319.5 billion. With a 24-hour trading volume of $16 billion and Bitcoin dominance rolling in at 39.2%. This morning, guys, when I got up from my 9 to 5, everything was in the green. Now, not so much, as we've seen a market sell-off. Bitcoin down nearly 2%, Ethereum down 2.5%, Ripple down 2%, Bitcoin Cash down 2.63%, and EOS finishing out our top 5 down 3%. Movers and shakers versus the big dog today. We have Theta token up 32.67% against Bitcoin. Gollum up 15% against Bitcoin. Kin up 9.30%. Bitcoin up 5.68%. And Allsport rounding it out at up 4.5% against Bitcoin. Our gainers and losers of the day, guys. Number one gainer of the day, Fujinto, up 194.5%. FutureX up 151%. Kubera Coin up 149.5%. Version up 143.88%. And Rupiah up 72.15%. Now this Kubera coin, guys, kind of interesting with a 24-hour trading volume of almost $1.5 million. That's going to be something that I look into. In fact, I'm going to write that down right now in my trusty notebook here, as I've been doing lately with all these crazy coins that have been shooting the moon, that have, quite a bit of volume in them. Our biggest losers of the days, guys, Bastinet down 93.88%. Fitrova still declining, down 84% on the day, guys. Wow. Titanium Bar down 70.67%. Transcodium down 48.18%. And Linker Coin down 40.31%. Fitrova, guys, not having a good time trying to get that company off the ground. I really like the idea, but geez, look how cheap that coin is. Like 1/1000th of a penny. That is dirt cheap, guys. Dirt cheap. I wonder why it's down so much today. Not really sure. Something else I'm going to have to look into. But we're going to move on into our first news article of the day, guys. If you don't have enough vices already, try adding crypto trading to one of, many things that could potentially go wrong in your life. Stay tuned. We'll hear about it a little more. If you don't have enough vices, add cryptocurrency addiction to your list. Addiction. It's a human weakness even the most staunchly disciplined among us wrestle with. You may not struggle with the urge to crack open a Heineken at 9 a.m. or light up a cigarette when you're stressed, but if you check the status of your crypto portfolio every 5 minutes, Houston, we may have a problem. We've all seen the memes making the rounds on social. Infuriated women accusing their partners of cheating when they're really checking the value of Litecoin. Hilarious. With just enough sprinkling of truth and self-congratulatory boys club mentality to make them sit a little uneasy. Tech addiction is a very real and has already become a serious problem, with teenagers spending upwards of 9 hours a day staring at screens. Their grades are suffering, attention spans are dwindling, and too much dependence on Facebook is causing severe depression and anxiety. But what about cryptocurrency addiction? Is cryptocurrency addiction a thing? Most of us joke about our hodling habits and share our sometimes epic trading mistakes, and we're all guilty of staring at our phones too much, willing prices to go up. But there's a fine line between healthy interest and real addiction that starts to take over your life. If you've moved beyond being glued to your smartphone to having regular heart palpitations, grinding your teeth, and losing money hand over fist, addiction to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies could be having a seriously detrimental effect on your health, as well as your wallet. ICOs in cryptocurrency investing have been championed for democratizing investment, bringing new people into the investment world. Anyone with an internet connection and a credit card can get in and join the game, which means that more and more people are, and they're often ill-equipped to deal with the consequences. So, the good news for the crypto addicts, if you think you might be one, is that you no longer have to go it alone. At last, a hospital in the UK is opening up a treatment center for crypto addicts. With the sheer volume of scam ICOs and opportunists seeking to make money, it's curious that we haven't seen a white paper for cryptocurrency that incentivizes people not to invest in crypto. While Rehab Coin may be the next big crypto on the horizon, it seems the first of many an establishment to capitalize on the Bitcoin trend is the Castle Craig Hospital in Peeblesshire. That's somewhere in Scotland, if that name doesn't ring a bell. Since this medical facility already offers treatment programs for alcohol and drug addiction, it's perfectly suited to treat the same symptoms for which crypto addicts suffer. And it will use the same techniques developed for gamblers. Indeed, with calamitous lows and skyrocketing highs, the volatility and uncertainty of cryptocurrency investing is rather like playing Russian roulette. It's not hard to see its appeal to gamblers. Chris Byrne, a gambling therapist at Castle Craig Hospital, said, "The high-risk, fluctuating cryptocurrency market appeals to the problem gambler." He also postulated that purchasing Bitcoin provides excitement and escape from reality. As with everything surrounding the nascent industry, there are no official studies or predictions yet on the number of people dealing with crypto addiction. The only thing that's certain is that the number of rehab centers associated with this growing vice will surely rise. What do you think, guys? Do you think that you can get addicted to crypto? At least the trading portion of it. I know that you get that rush of endorphins on a positive trade. I know I do. Whenever I'm looking at a trade that I'm like, yeah, I made out on, doubled my money, or, made 30% or 20%, I feel good about it. And, I want to get into the next one as soon as possible. But, guys, myself, I don't have that addictive personality that a lot of people, tend to have that have problems with addiction. I can honestly say, I quit smoking cigarettes 3 months ago, and, I haven't had a problem keeping it kicked. It's not, something that I'm struggling with. Just with any other addiction, that I've had personally, and I'm not trying to sound like, I'm telling people on the mountain how great I am and whatnot. It's just that I just don't have that addictive thing. I don't have to have that rush. If I do need something like that, I can move on and find something else to take up that bit of, need, I suppose. But, I believe that you can very well be addicted to cryptocurrency. Or at least, the investing aspect of it. I myself, I love going through all these different coins and reading about the tech and what this company plans to do with their blockchain and what that company plans to do with their blockchain and what platform they plan on building on. But I don't just needlessly throw money at it just to, sate some inner lust. It's just not something that I do. Drop me a comment down in the comment section, guys. Let me know if you struggle with it. Let me know if, you think that getting those positive trades is just where it's at and that you just can't get enough of it. I mean, if so, this might be something that you want to look into, guys. Self-diagnose yourself first and then look for, proper help. Moving on. Our second news article of the day, guys. The new report suggests average ICO investors see 82% profit. And this, guys, kind of leads into, my last article kind of leads into this. You can totally be addicted to making money. There's no doubt about it. And doing ICOs currently, that is the way to make money in the crypto sphere. Holding right now, guys, is getting us nowhere. The price of Bitcoin, it's just bouncing back and forth between $6,000 and $9,000. There's no real gain. There's no real money being added to the market cap. Everything, I've been hearing so many YouTubers wanting to get back to the $500 billion market cap and yada, yada, yada. I'm here to say, guys, that money is sitting in Tether right now. Right now, we could get to $500 billion. In the snap of a finger, we could be at $500 billion. That money is just sitting there waiting. There is no new investments coming yet, guys. There's just not. In my honest opinion, and this is coming from someone who is not a financial advisor, and all of this should not be taken as financial advice, guys. I am just an entertainer trying to educate you and entertain you all at the same time. But, this is coming from this space and, the ICOs. There's, at least for Americans, we're not able to get into these as often as we would like. Therefore, we don't get to see that kind of profit. It's the rest of the world, sure, but, not us. Anyway, we're going to get into the article now. Recent analysis of initial coin offerings, or ICOs, have found that the average ICO investor sees a return of 82%, according to a report published by Boston College Carroll School of Management, May 20th. The 54-page report titled Digital Tulips returns to investors in initial coin offerings found evidence of significant ICO underpricing. After analyzing a data set of over 4,000 planned and realized ICOs, the ICOs studied raised a combined total of $12 billion, almost all of them since January of 2017. Average returns from the initial token sale price to the first days listed on market price on a crypto exchange were found to be a staggering 179%. Guys, that is more than 1.5 times your initial investment, with investors' holdings periods averaging just 16 days. So, you tell me, where else can you invest $1,000 and in 16 days get $2,800? Don't worry, I'll wait. You tell me, or drop me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know where in 2 weeks you can make that kind of money. I would love to know. And in cases where the issuers fail to list their tokens on an exchange within 60 days, the researchers imputed large, negative 100% returns to these tokens, yet still found that representative investors nearly doubled their investment in such cases. Including these results into the overall asset data class, the average token investment returns were found to be at 82%. Overall, the report showed that crypto tokens continue to generate abnormal positive average returns, with those investors who held their tokens for longer periods of 180 days seeing the highest returns between 150 and 430%, guys. 430%. That's ridiculous. The researchers concluded that, and this is a quote, while our results could be indication of bubbles, they are also consistent with high compensation for high risk for investing in unproven pre-revenue platforms through unregulated offerings. Our paper suggests that scams, while plentiful in number, are not as important in terms of stolen capital because investors are shrewd enough to spot and underfund them. A history high-profile exit scams among ICOs has drawn considerable negative media attention to popular crypto token fundraising model. In a recent campaign aimed at educate investors, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, created a website for a fake ICOs that was designed to imitate the classic red flags of fraudulent token sales. I'm trying to remember what the name of that was. It was like Freddy Token or something like that. I looked at it, guys, and it was a very well designed fake ICO for educational purposes, and I'm glad that it's there. It's going to help out a lot. Nonetheless, prominent members of the cryptosphere continue to advocate the need for ICOs, which offer a convenient means of generating support for emerging projects. Just this week, South Korea revealed it would lift its ban on domestic ICOs, which has been in place since September of 2017. So what do you think, guys? I myself wish that we could actually, and we, being U.S. citizens, could actually get into ICOs without, the trouble that we actually have. Since I've gotten into crypto back in early January, I've been able to get into one ICO. It was the Dropple ICO. And so far, guys, since I have, 3 months ago, I've doubled my money. And I didn't even sell my coins. I kept them, put them into their platform, and, I've just been running it that way, and it's been doing great. So I just wish that, Americans like myself could get into this sort of market without, all the trouble. It would make things a lot easier. And, I think that the money would be a lot faster. And, while ICOs are speculative, it does better than holding, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, guys. Don't take my opinion as professional advice, as always. But we're going to move on into the TA now. So sit right there. We'll be right back. And here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin versus US dollar day scale using the Bitfinex exchange information as we do every other day. And we're going to go ahead and zoom back in here. While we are looking at Bitcoin, we can see, guys, that what do we have here? A red candle after yesterday's green engulfing candle that swallowed up a couple of days worth of red. But as I warned yesterday, that could be a dead cat bounce, and I'm starting to believe that it indeed was just that. And what I mean by a dead cat bounce, guys, is sure there's a big green candle, but ultimately it's going to mean nothing as we continue to trend down. But, there's no real trend, clear trend defined yet, guys. We're kind of in a no man's land right now with Bitcoin. We could go up, we could go down. If I grab an indicator here, let's check out our volume indicator. which I just deleted earlier. We're going to see what we can see. And yeah, guys, the buying volume is dwindling a great deal, actually. So there's that. So hopefully, maybe we can see a big buy spike, but I don't know. I'm not really sure on it. Let's check out our RSI. And the RSI is showing us between the level 40 and level 30. So generally, that is a good buy time, guys, on the RSI. But this is Bitcoin that we're talking about. So the question remains, I mean, if you do want to trade in Bitcoin, make sure, guys, make sure you set a stop loss. And what a stop loss is for those you new would-be traders, guys, a stop loss is a price that you set. So if Bitcoin does the opposite of what you want it to, say that you're trying to go long on Bitcoin. So you buy in here at the $72 or $7,297, and you want to go long on Bitcoin, meaning that you buy in here and you're expecting Bitcoin to go up in price. So what you would do is you would buy Bitcoin here at $7,297, and you would set a stop loss for, say, like, I don't know, 10%. So what you would do is you would grab your long position tool, like what I just grabbed here, and we're going to click here at the 7,000, and then you would take this bottom, this red box here, guys. This is your stop loss area, and you would bring it up to, it says 10% right here on this area. Bring it up to 10%, and it will give you a number. Right, that's good enough, 9.06%. That's fine. So what you would do, you would set your stop loss for $6,613. That would be 9%. So if the price of Bitcoin were to drop past this, you would automatically sell, go back into fiat, and wait for Bitcoin's price to actually hit the bottom, and then, potentially bounce before you bought back in, gaining 10% more coins than what you would have if you would have just held and let Bitcoin's price drop. So, yeah, that is the definition of a stop loss there, guys. And the same thing can be said on a short position, but instead of, setting your stop loss for below price, on a short position you would set it 10% above the price. So instead of, you setting the stop loss for 6,600 on a 10% stop loss, you would actually set it for like 7,900 on a 10% stop loss, if you were trying to short Bitcoin at this point. But like, as I said, guys, this is a no trade zone in my opinion. Like, it's too, there's no clear idea in which way Bitcoin's going to go right now. Like the green candle yesterday, I mean, who knows where that came from, guys? There was no indication that that would happen. But yet, the price spiked. And now we had a sell-off as of this morning. It's been slowly trending down. What we can do, we're going to check out the 4-hour chart. We'll turn on auto so we get a bigger picture here. And yeah, let me zoom in here so we can get all of this action in here. Okay, so this big green candle here, guys, this was yesterday, the 29th of May. And we start here at midnight today of the 30th. And as you can see, guys, we're kind of making a flag, but this is, I mean, there's no real technical term for this sort of pattern. I've seen people call it a false flag, and what that means is like the pole here, we'll just draw it right here, we'll stop where the price action ends on this wick right there, and as you can see, the flag kind of extends above the pole. I'll draw it out for you with our tool here, and we are on the 4-hour scale here, guys, so just keep that in mind. See how it like trends up like this? This is generally a bearish sign, and we will break down. And as you can see, guys, we did just that at around noon today. We had a big sell-off. We actually went from 7,500, and we're currently trading Bitcoin at just under $7,300. So we lost $200 in about 3.5 hours. Meaning that we lost, roughly, I don't know, $6 billion in market cap in 3.5 hours. Just to keep that in mind, guys. But yeah, this is considered, well, there is no real technical term for this type of pattern. I just go by calling it a false flag. That's just what a couple of other professional technical analysts call it. That's just what I call it. I'm just going off of what they call it. What you can see is a traditional flag would be something like this. You can see where it happened here, where this green candle went up and then consolidated to the right. It just ran right for a while, making no real new highs, and then eventually the price dropped out and it went right and kept falling. So we could expect that to happen here as well, where the price went up, was making no real new highs, and just plink, eventually had that drop. So where is it going to go from here, guys? Don't really know. Like on the RSI on the 4-hour scale showing us between 40 and 50, which means that that's actually generally a trade zone that doesn't get traded in too much. We're just waiting to see, what happens from here. And that's all that we can do, really, guys, is just we're on a wait and see kind of approach with Bitcoin, as usual. But guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you're still with me after all this time, hit that subscribe button, as I try to post a video every single day, Monday through Friday. If you learned anything today, hit that like button, share it with a friend. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.